Hi, welcome back to another episode of Northern Hockey Shack Sports Talk. To my right, we have Ryder Langthorne and Aiden Weiss, and special guest, producer slash cameraman Marcus Allen. He's a bit of a band-aid right now. As always, your host, Brevin Gervais. And so, Cariboo has their season home opener next weekend?
Next weekend.
21st and 22nd.
Against the Thompson Blazers.
Yeah. So, me and Aiden Weiss get the special choice to go down and watch the Cariboo Cougars hammer on the Thompson Blazers.
Get some VIP treatment, hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully get a few waters.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Predictions should be 2-0 weekend for Cariboo because Thompson sucks.
Wow. They've been awful in the past years, so.
Yeah. But you know what?
At
least
the
same. At least Cariboo gets a hot start.
Yeah. At least Cariboo starts the season off winning.
Yeah.
Everyone beats Thompson.
Yeah, so we're excited to go watch this weekend. Hopefully we see all you guys there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Before we get too deep into things, I don't know. This guy, should we mention that?
Hat draw, baby.
Hat draw? Okay.
Hat draw, kids. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get excited because we have the hat draw.
Want to grab it, Ryder?
No, Marky, you have to get up and walk over and grab it.
Oh, it's right there. I know where it was. I'll put that name back in there.
Yeah, we don't want to miss any names.
So a big thank you to everyone who put us on their story and shared us and hashtag Hockey Shack. It was obviously a big help to help us get followers, and hopefully if you're watching this, you're one of the people that wins this hat. So
yeah, we'd also like to say thank you to Cariboo Cougars for giving us this hat.
Big help with our up and coming show.
So without further ado, let's get into it. Marky will pull the name.
All right. I won't look.
Yeah.
Only one.
Ethan got
Oh,
Congratulations.
Thank you for everyone else that joined, but you did not win.
Yeah. Sorry to say, but it's just the way she goes sometimes. Okay.
We'll be having another hat draw sooner than later here.
Probably the next week or two.
Yeah,
so
we'll just keep giving away hats, honestly.
Sign hats.
Yeah.
Next hat will be signed by probably
Brevin Gervais. In other news, there was a couple kids that signed from Cariboo to their respective teams now. So Brophy Dunn signed to the Merritt Centennials.
Yeah, that's a big one. Brophy's a big fan of the show, and we're pretty proud of him for moving up to the British Columbia Hockey League.
Yeah, he's going to the BC. He's a skill guy now.
Oh yeah, skill guy, would you say?
Oh yeah.
He's
when you're in the BC, everyone's a skill guy.
Okay, so
he's
it's
a skill
confirmed
guy.
he's a skill guy then.
I feel like WHL is more of a skill league.
No, if you go to BC, you're a skill guy. Even if you're not a skill guy, you're a skill guy.
Okay, fair enough.
He's a skill guy.
Yeah, he's a skill guy now.
All right, Aiden Reeves too, the Cougars. He's still with them.
That's cute.
Oh, that's me. Yeah.
You know everything about the Cougars.
Aiden Reeves signed with the Prince George Cougars to a player agreement. Sounds like he's going to be sticking around for a little bit longer while they have some injuries, but very good skater, very tall, physical guy. He could be a big help to the back end for the Prince George Cougars this year. Possible interview. Possible Hockey Shack guest, Aiden Reeves. Aiden Reeves, we want you. We want you on the show, buddy.
Fisher signed with him.
Oh, and as well, Fisher O'Brien signed with him. I don't think he has been cut yet, but he is a good young talent drafted by them, by Lethbridge, traded for Tyson Fair. So two big signings to a local WHL team from the Cariboo Cougar organization.
I mean, Fisher's brother is proud alum.
Fisher O'Brien, I think.
Yeah,
his brother Brogan.
Yeah,
Brogan for 3 years. 3 years.
Yeah.
He is a great Cougar. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying.
And then one more kid, not native to Prince George, but
from Williams Lake, Brendan Pigeon, committed with West Kelowna Warriors in the BCHL. So big congrats to him.
Stepping into Brandon Dent's shoes now.
Yeah. A couple PG
Big
boys
shoes
there
to
now.
fill.
Mason Ritchie, Brandon Dent.
He's a skilled
Brandon
guy. What
Midget.
can you say?
Chase Dubois.
Chase Dubois. No, he's not there anymore.
What?
He's our last
He's
guy.
out.
Oh, no,
He's
yeah,
out there,
that's
20?
right. He got committed to last.
Yeah.
He's with the Janitors now.
Yeah.
So good weekend. Good week for Cariboo Cougars.
Yeah, good week for the Caribou organization and a lot of players signing up to the next level. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Moving on to the jungle.
Yeah.
the jungle.
No, that league can't even be called the Jungle. The Northwestern Junior Hockey League has
Okay,
gained 2
Jungle.
more bright stars in Benny Malgunas and Craig McDonald.
Going
Benny Mulligan.
Yeah,
Dawson
Benny.
Creek Canucks.
Yeah, the Dawson Creek Canucks.
So if you want to make some money, put your money to win Dawson Creek to win that league.
He's a knock now.
He's a
They're
knock.
a good-looking team.
They're a
this
good-looking
season.
That
team
is a
this season.
good-looking team. A lot of PG boys
Good
on
looking,
that
good
hockey
looking
team.
team, not a good looking league. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, no, we
Right players, wrong league. The Spruce Kings were in.
They're in town.
No, but last week they're in Surrey, right?
No, Surrey came here.
Oh. And then they dropped 2 to Surrey.
Come on, Brandon, learn your shit, man.
Well, what do you
Study
mean?
up.
I'm not even
No
gonna
excuses.
argue. I'm not even gonna argue.
The Spruce Kings.
You guys, I can't argue with you.
Spruce Kings lose the first game in regulation. They lose the second in overtime to the Surrey Eagles. So not the start they wanted. But
That sounds pretty bad, but let's take it a level higher. The Prince George Cougars. That's a tough start.
That's a tough blow.
That's a tough 0-3 exhibition weekend.
Yeah.
I think
It's not even just a tough weekend. They got hammered.
hammered by the Blazers and Rockets, and they had a not too bad one against the Giants.
Yeah. So.
And speaking of Vancouver Giants, Jacob Gendron scoring a goal against the Prince George Cougars.
Oh,
Good for him.
local PG boy.
Cariboo Cougars Alumni scoring against the Prince George Cougars. That must have fired him up.
Oh, yeah.
That would
Get
fire
the
me up.
juices going.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully the Cougars can pick it up.
Haven't the Cougars lost one of their top forwards, you're saying? Due
Yeah.
to him taking the college route?
In their second round.
Oh, Hudson Thornton today, actually like 15 minutes ago, committing to a college. So they lost him, so that kind of sucks. But
It's another loss for the Cougars.
it's all good. We signed Fisher O'Brien, so you know we don't need that guy. Fisher O'Brien, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Without him carrying the team.
Yeah, we don't need that Thornton here. He's a bum.
So, what have you boys been up to since I've been in Fort? Like, I heard
School just started.
School?
Yeah,
Aiden,
so
I heard you're doing yoga now. What's with that?
Yeah, I took on a yoga class last night actually, and you know I've never heard anybody who's ever done yoga before say that it's not fun. It's been unenjoyable, and so I was like, well, I must like it. So I went there and I tried it, and I absolutely loved it. I recommend it. I tried a hot yoga class, and there's
so things got sweaty.
some good looking moms, some good poses. It was a good. It was fun. So.
So if you
now-
like yoga lessons from Northern Hockey Shack, Aiden Weiss does accept applications.
In the shack.
Yeah. We're actually hosting a Northern Hockey Shack yoga class next week, so if you want to drop in, it'd be great. Led by Aiden Weiss, kind of a yoga pro now.
Yeah, sitting here beside Marcus. Obviously, he had his surgery not too long ago.
On Thursday.
Yeah, and so I'm looking at these staples, and I'm having a really hard time not picking them out of his leg.
Actually grabbed them too.
They actually come out Tuesday, so if you're watching this right
So
now,
we're gonna vlog that.
our next live video will most likely be on next Tuesday. So yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're here with Dylan Willick, alumni of Cariboo Cougar Hockey. He played for Kamloops Blazers. He played in the ECHL, and now he's with a pro team in Poland.
Cariboo Cougars Alumni.
Yeah. So, who wants to start her off?
All right, I'll jump right into it. So, Dylan, one of the main questions I had for you was I was interested to know the difference between the WHL and university hockey.
There's not actually a huge jump necessarily, aside from the fact that like everybody's a little bit older, a little bit smarter, kind of thing. Like there's not really any young guys who are making kind of like the young kid mistakes that you kind of see in the Western League sometimes, and that just comes with age. But like it was probably just as fast, if not faster. It was bigger, stronger players that you had to kind of get used to. So, like, there's probably less of a jump from U Sports to pro than there was from Western League to U Sports at the end of the day.
Would you say it's as physical as the WHL?
Yeah, it could get. It was probably about as physical. It wasn't as like there wasn't that many scrums and whatnot, but you did find, due to not being allowed to fight, kind of thing in U Sports, there's a lot more kind of like tough guy attitude going on, where guys like who never fought in the Western League, all of a sudden, junior hockey, sorry, all of a sudden became like, had like this big man approach kind of thing, because you weren't allowed to fight him back. Well, we're not allowed to fight him necessarily, but it was just as physical and it was just as difficult in the corners for sure.
Okay, so what about the amount of games played? That must be a huge difference.
Yeah, that going from when I was playing, it was 72 games regular season in the Western League to 28 games in AUS. With playoffs and like exhibition, you might have played 40, 45 games. So much easier on the body. The routine of like, we only played on Fridays and Saturdays. We'd have like a mixed in Wednesday game like once a month maybe. So getting into a routine of being able, like, Monday was like a really hard day. It was a hard skate. Tuesday, kind of the same. And then you taper off as the week goes on, and you knew what the routine and the schedule was. It was really nice to get into. And then going back to the big 72-game season, the ECHL was actually very hard on the body. It was hard to like readjust to that many games for sure.
That's one thing I wanted to ask you about. What's the main difference you notice between the WHL and the ECHL?
I think that there might be a bit of a skill gap there. I think in the Western League, there's still a lot of. I'm not saying that the ECHL doesn't have some high-end talent and some skilled guys. I think that you just see a little bit less of them. You see more of kind of like the bread and butter, hard-working types with like maybe a top line on each team. Whereas the Western League, you might see 2.5 lines of skilled players that are still kind of working on their game and getting ready for the jump to pro down the road. Right. The ECHL, like I said, it just felt more like it was a grinding kind of style of game where and I mean, we only had 10 forwards just, so you're basically rolling 3 lines.
Yeah.
And you were more like I said, it was just grind for the most part.
Yeah.
So, another question I had here was, you were the captain for the Kamloops Blazers in your 4th season in the WHL. You were also the captain for the University of Brunswick in your 4th season. Going over to Poland, do you think that being in this leadership role in 2 different occasions, do you think this will help improve the transition?
I think that could be a big part of it. Obviously, here in Canada, I was speaking my own language with people around me who spoke my own language, so it was easier to be a presence in the dressing room that way. I hear that most of the people over there can speak okay English, but I'll definitely be more on the outside looking in for sure. And I don't speak that good at Polish or Polish at all, really. So aside from kind of like, and my leadership style has always been, I'm more of a quieter kind of a guy who kind of goes about his business in his own way and speaks more when he needed to speak or felt like I needed to speak, kind of a thing. But I think, I'll bring more the intangibles assets of it all as opposed to like the vocal role in leadership, and hopefully that kind of just brings like a calming presence of sorts that, like you said, I mean, the comfort level of coming in, knowing that I can be that kind of a guy in a dressing room normally should help ease the transition for sure. But I don't expect to go in there and be an assistant or a captain or like even the leadership role, especially my first year there, while I'm getting used to Europe as well.
Yeah, of course. So have you been practicing your Polish at all? Hop on Duolingo and do some courses?
Yeah. Duolingo was the website of choice for me as well. It's not an easy language, and when you're not like around it on a day-to-day, it's really hard to like. I find myself like going to my like the next day, going back, re-looking at lessons, and going, I don't remember any of this from yesterday. I'm hoping that once I'm there and I hear it on a daily basis, maybe it'll start clicking more. I'll probably stay on the website and keep on practicing as well in my own time, but I'm definitely not overly confident going into it, even after a summer of trying.
So when do you head out to Poland?
I'm actually not entirely sure just yet. I was supposed to be there kind of end of July, early August. My visa, work visa, all that stuff, it's going a little bit slower than we had anticipated. So we got some confirmation that the work permit over there is now kind of gone through. I still have to they got to send that to me so I can go and handle some stuff here as well. We're hoping in the next week or two I should be out of here. It's kind of the way she goes sometimes. This team hasn't had Canadian players before, so they're kind of also on a bit of a learning curve, trying to figure out how to get us there, properly, and so we don't get deported midway through the season, So it's the little things. It's a little is what it is kind of thing, but at least I know that the process is happening, and I will get there hopefully soon.
That's exciting. Do you have any big expectations for your first season over there?
I'm not entirely sure because I don't even really know the league itself. Most of the players are Polish players, and as you might know, you haven't seen a whole lot of Polish players playing ourselves. Obviously, I'd like to go. I'm supposed to be in kind of a go-to role as I've been talking with the coach and whatnot anyways, so we'll see how I fit in. I've also missed, training camp at this point, a bunch of exhibition games, so, I'll have to kind of find my way into that itself, but, I expect to play the games that I'm there for sure, and, just find my role once I'm there.
And so what was the main decision with Poland? Like, why Poland? Obviously, you don't have any buddies going there.
Yep.
Not familiar with the language, so, what was the main factors in that?
Yeah, a little bit of it. Like, my wife and I were always said we'd give North American hockey a shot, and then before I call her quits on hockey, we'd like to go and see Europe. It's a good opportunity just to go and see things.
So
the way that
back then, hey?
What's that?
Is the wife holding you back then, hey?
Not at all. Because I'm in the same boat. I'd like to go see Europe at the same time. I found that European teams typically, they don't have a lot of scouts over in North America necessarily, so they kind of rely on elite prospects and just stats and numbers. And unfortunately, the way that I play and the way that my role typically translates, you don't see a lot of the big numbers that might catch people's eye from overseas. So it's not exactly a high tier league over there in Poland, but it's still kind of mid tier where some of the European scouts should start looking in and seeing me play live as opposed to just seeing stats wise. So for me, this is kind of a stepping stone on my way into Europe as opposed to taking, a really bad contract on a better team, better league. So it also gives me a chance to kind of get my foot in the door over there, get a feel for how European hockey works and plays. And, it's a Canadian coach. He's Canadian with a Polish passport, so he's allowed to go over and do all that stuff. So a little bit of comfort level knowing that I can understand the language of the coach, as opposed to going to Finland where the guy speaks Finnish, doesn't speak English, and I'm just sitting there not knowing what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Dylan, we're gonna jump into your time as a Cariboo Cougar right now and ask you a few questions about that.
Sweet, all right.
So was Curtis Sprague your coach?
Yeah, that was, I think it was Sprague's first year in the Cariboo Cougars organization there, yeah.
And
I believe so.
Marcus
Way back when.
was that the year you guys won, or was that the year?
No, it was the year right after they won.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
Was that,
I just missed
that
it.
year in trying to maintain that, what's the word? Trying to repeat. How was it?
Yeah, it was an interesting one. Mostly, in a lot of ways, it was interesting because the staff had all changed over and everything. Basically, a whole new system had kind of come in. Obviously, aside from some of the players graduating out, there were a lot of returning players that year who had their expectations. And, the organization, we all felt like we had that expectation of repeat as well. But there was also a bit of a learning curve for just everybody getting into the program as well. So, if you know Sprague, he's got high expectations regardless of what we had done the year before. But, overall, it was still fun. So many years back, I kind of specifically remember how all that went.
So, when you're with the Cariboo Cougars, did you get a lot of, exposure, I guess you would say? Were a lot of scouts talking to you and stuff?
I didn't get talked to a whole lot, actually. Not that I specifically remember. There was lots of opportunities. I think I played in the All-Star game or showcase or however I can't. There was a weekend there where they had a few players go up and whatnot. So, as far as showcasing and the ability to get seen and get noticed, it was really good that way. I don't specifically remember talking to scouts outside dressing rooms or in the rinks or anything. I think I found out on the bus that I had been listed by Kamloops, near the end of the season kind of a thing, and that was about the extent of what I had heard. I didn't know that Kamloops was even looking at me at the time. It just kind of happened.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a bit of a quiz for you here. Do you remember, because I'm looking on Elite Prospects right now, do you remember how many points you got in your BC MML season?
42?
47, that was close.
Wow. God.
Not bad.
It was in the 40s, that's all I knew.
So, do you have any good stories about Trevor Sprague and the Cariboo Cougars? Any
Trevor Sprague.
PG rated?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. No, nothing specifically really comes to mind. I know there's a lot that happens on the road and happens here and there, kind of a thing. I can't think of any at the moment.
So who were some boys that you played with that went on and continued playing hockey?
So I didn't play with him in Cariboo Cougars, but like Brett Conley, I played with minor hockey like growing up, and then he was playing for the Prince George Cougars the year I played Cariboo Cougars. There was, Bulmer was the guy who played with for Cariboo Cougars. He went on and played some hockey here and there. Who's it? Dan Gibb. He's where is he now? I think he's in France, if I'm not mistaken, actually. So. He played. I even played against him in U Sports. I saw him once or twice at Nationals, which was kind of fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Gartag. I don't think I played with him major either, but I played with him growing up. Then I ended up playing against him last year while he was in Newfoundland. I was in Worcester, and now he's in I think Finland as well. You guys going overseas, which is kind of cool to see.
Yeah. Hey, Dylan. That wraps things up for all the questions we have. Thank you for doing this interview with us. It'll be on YouTube within the next week, I think. And thank you and good luck in Poland, I guess.
Sweet. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dylan. Have a good one.